There are places on this earth where land itself feels hungry, forests that swallow sound, and trails that echo footsteps, but they never return. In Vermont, the locals warn people about this place, and they call it the Bennington Triangle. At its center lies one of the most enduring mysteries in American history, the disappearance of 18-year-old Paula Weldon. But she's not the only disappearance that happens within the Bennington Triangle. She's not the first, and she's certainly not the last. We're going to dive into her creepy disappearance. But of course, before we dive in, make sure you smash that like button and you follow me so you don't miss any future spooky videos I have in store for you guys. I love you so much. Now, let's dive right in. It's December 1946 when Paula Weldon decides to go for an afternoon hike. She attended the Bennington College. She was a sophomore there. She thought Sunday would be a lovely day to go out for a hike after all of her long studies for the week. So she set out on her hike. She was seen by several people that day, and a couple passed her along the Vermont's long trail. She wore a bright red coat, which should have made it easy to spot her in the wilderness out there. But then when the nighttime fell, she never returned home. It's like she simply vanished. Her disappearance sparked one of the most largest manhunts in Vermont history. There was everything, you guys. There was dogs, there was helicopters, there were so many volunteers that came out to try to find her. So these volunteers, hundreds of volunteers, would clear the woods and search for her. And then they brought the bloodhounds to track her scent. But strangely, the dogs picked up her scent, and as they're following along this dirt path where they're tracking her scent, she seemingly, the scent vanished in the thin air. It's as if she walked along this dirt path and vanished. Literally got zapped up by something, or it's literally like she stepped onto a path of nothingness. The airplanes would search and scan the forest. Crews searched the rivers and ravines. But weeks had passed and not a single trace of evidence was ever found about her disappearance. Not any clothing, not any body, not traces of evidence. To this day, Paula's fate remains a complete mystery. Paula's disappearance is only one of the many strange strings of disappearances surrounding this region. There is a swath of wilderness in the Glastonbury Mountains that travels throughout these towns, and people are disappearing left and right mysteriously out of them, never to be found again. We're not talking just like an accident, they slip, fall, and their bodies somewhere and then they end up found. I'm talking no traces of evidence, no blood, no anything left behind, no bodies ever found. You guys, this is insane. 1945, just a year before Paula's disappearance, a man named Middle Rivers was leading a hunting party when he literally disappeared into thin air right in front of people. He was an experienced woodsman, and his friend said he was walking straight along the path right ahead of them when he simply vanished when they got up. They're like, where the hell did he go? There was no traces of him. There was nowhere for him to slip and fall or fall off. Just in this trail experience, and he just disappears without a trace. He never came back, and his body was never found. 3 years after Paula, in 1949, a veteran named James Tetford would board a bus to Bennington. Witnesses claimed to see him sitting at a bus stop right before the town. But when the bus arrived, James was gone. His luggage was still in the racks. His ticket was still in one of the pockets of his coats. But he literally disappeared without a trace. He was gone. He would be another one never to be found or heard from again. In 1950, 8-year-old Paul Jepson was last seen playing near the family truck at Glastonbury Dump. His parents turned their backs for just a few minutes, maybe like 1 or 2. When they turned around, he was gone. Despite the searches, despite the bloodhounds, he was never found. Again, another one that literally disappeared without a trace. At this point, it gets fucking weird, you guys, because how many people are just disappearing without a trace in weird places, out in the middle of the open? They're there 1 second and they disappear into thin air. Later that year, 53-year-old Frida Langer was hiking with her cousin on a trail near Somerset Reservoir. As they were hiking, she slipped and fell into a stream. She got out and she said to her cousin, I'm going to run home really quick and change and get out of these wet clothes. but she'd leave and never come back. For months, search parties would scour the area, helicopters, search dogs, you name it. They scoured and she was never found. I have to retract what I said. When she left to go home off the trail, when she split up with her cousin, she never returned home. She never even made it home to change her clothes. And her house was not even that far from where she split up with her cousin. So on the trail, between leaving her cousin and going home, she disappeared without a trace. Finally, in May of 1951, her body was discovered. But it was discovered in a part of the woods where they completely searched before. They completely scoured the woods and searched thoroughly in this location, and she seemingly just appeared out of nowhere. They could never determine the cause of death. So what is happening in the Bennington Triangle? The skeptics point to the dangerous terrain and the treacherous landscapes of this area, but others note strange similarities, like the searches run cold, the complete lack of evidence, there's nothing left behind, and the eerie clustering of disappearances in this certain area. Some even suggested that there might be a serial predator lurking in these woods, picking off people one by one. Others whisper about supernatural forces. They say the Glastonbury Mountains is cursed, and that they're haunted by Native American people that warned that that mountain was never meant for them. And of course, there are other stranger theories, like time travel, portals to another dimension, interdimensional rifts, and UFOs. Places where the world grows thin and people never return. This is seriously a mystery, how all these people disappear and they are never to be found again. It's a head scratcher for sure. There has to be something going on here. And Paula Weldon's red coat should have been some sort of visual, like red flag, literally. It should have been easy to find and spot. Scanning above, searching around, nothing was ever found. All of the other people that we talked about today, their names echo through the trees. They're lost, but they're never forgotten, and hopefully one day we can receive answers to whatever happened to these people. But they're, again, a tiny thread to the bigger picture of what's going on here. Remember when you go hiking that some places never let you leave. Let me know what you think of this chilling story in the comment section down below. Make sure you smash that like button and you follow me so you don't miss any future videos I have in store for you guys. I love you so very much, and I might dissect each one of these disappearances one by one of these days and go into a deeper dive, because this is absolutely chilling and mind-blowing and mysterious to me, how this could even be, how not many people know about these things. It's crazy. You go research yourself and you shit your fucking pants. Love you guys. Bye.